Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mind, Body, Magic. I'm Dr. B, Tiffany Ballard. Traveling and being in large groups can sometimes be overwhelming, so I wanted to share some groundbreaking techniques that can help you stay calm, centered, and take back your mental health, your ability to stay calm and not lose your while you're traveling. Traveling and attending large events can be exciting, but also very stressful. The change in the environment, the large crowds, and the constant activity can leave you feeling ungrounded. So let's talk about some practical tips and techniques to help you maintain your calm and focus during these times. Bring comfort items from home. Having familiar items from home can provide a sense of comfort, stability, and familiarity. Here are a few ideas. Bring your favorite pillow or blanket. For me, I like to travel with my pillow when I can, not just for hygienic reasons, but it's a comfort. And having just that, a few things that are a comfort from home can make a big difference in how you feel, how comfortable you feel, how quickly you can calm yourself. Create a calm space in your hotel room. Transform your hotel room into a sanctuary. First, you declutter the room, and I even will rearrange the furniture sometimes if it's possible. I love unpacking and setting my stuff up in the new space as soon as I arrive. It helps me feel settled. Set up a relaxation corner in the space you're staying in. Create a small area with a comfortable chair, your favorite book, a cup of herbal tea. Here's something I've found incredibly helpful: keeping a sense of humor while traveling. Keeping a sense of humor in general. Let me introduce to you Geoffrey the Giraffe, my little travel mascot who showed up during my trip to the biohacking conference. He was included in a bag of goodies we received as conference participants. Now, since my brain works a little differently due to having ADHD, I often find myself fiddling with gadgets, sometimes in distracting, and sometimes funny ways. And Geoffrey has been a refreshing distraction amidst the self-imposed stress of editing, writing, and filming YouTube scripts during the trip. Geoffrey would be sad and stressed, and then be very happy to help me with these scripts and shift my mood. Sad, happy. Yeah, I do this to keep my sanity, even if it looks a little crazy. So Geoffrey will be joining us occasionally. Having Geoffrey around has been a great reminder to keep things light and fun when things get a bit too intense. Sometimes all you need to do is have a little toy to remind you to laugh and take a break and break up the cycle of stress. Laughter triggers the release of endorphins, our body's natural feel-good hormones and chemicals, which help reduce stress and anxiety. It lowers levels of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline and promotes relaxation and can even enhance your immune system. So whether it's a quirky toy, a funny book, a lighthearted podcast, make sure you pack something that brings a smile to your face. For now, Geoffrey, we'll set you down. Okay? Okay. Visualization techniques. Visualization can be a great way to stay grounded. For the first visualization technique, visualize your anxiety. Imagine your anxiety as a tangible item. A good example is a leaf, and visualize that leaf falling from a tree, landing in a river, and floating down the river. This can help you create some mental distance from your anxiety. Feel free to get creative and mix it up. Second visualization technique is called change the channel. This one's kind of self-explanatory. You picture your distressing thoughts as a TV show you don't like, and imagine picking up the remote and changing the channel to something more pleasant. I'm going to switch from this drama to a comedy, a sitcom maybe. This can help you take control over your thoughts and feelings. Before we dive into the next techniques, I want to take a moment to honor and deeply respect the wisdom bearers who have kept these ancient healing traditions alive. These practices come from rich cultural heritages that have nurtured them for generations. Acupressure, for example, is rooted in traditional Chinese medicine, which views your body as a holistic system where energy flow is essential for health. Yoga, originating from ancient India, integrates the mind, body, spirit through physical postures, breath control, and meditation. Later in this video, I'll share an ancient yogic breathing technique. It is important to approach these techniques with reverence and gratitude for the deep knowledge and care that has been passed down to us. I remember my own journey of discovering yoga and how it transformed my approach to health and well-being. The depth of wisdom I encountered through my teachers and the ancient texts opened my eyes to a holistic way of healing that goes beyond just the physical. Acupressure techniques. One effective way to ground yourself is through acupressure. They are specific points on your body that, when pressed, can help reduce anxiety and produce a sense of calm. Our first technique in acupressure is yin tang, or third eye point. It's located between your eyebrows. So gently press this point with your index finger for anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes while taking deep breaths. This was the yin tang, or third eye point, acupressure technique. It's also known as the Hall of Impressions, or no name, and it's located at the midpoint between your eyebrows, and it's associated with the third eye, upper dantian, and sixth chakra. The indications on the physical level are for headaches, dizziness, especially post-childbirth, restlessness, sinus pain, nasal inflammation and congestion, and that the emotional and mental level pressure on this acupressure point can help with anxiety, worry, agitation, acute fright, especially in children, mental tension, and then on the spiritual level, it activates the third eye, or ajna, enhancing intuition and spiritual vision. And it stimulates the pituitary gland, fostering a connection to others and nature. Moving on to our next acupressure point, we're looking at the kidney 1, or bubbling spring point. Stimulating this point is like oiling the gate, allowing it to open and close with ease depending on life's ebbs and flows. It strengthens appropriate boundaries and helps the heart function optimally. Kidney 1, bubbling spring point, located on the sole of your foot in the depression between the ball of your foot and the arch. Press this point for a few minutes to help ground your energy and relieve anxiety. I used this one the first time I traveled to visit Amma. It's a very big group and lots of energy, and you start to get a headache when you're not grounded. One of my beloved friends taught me this technique, and I could feel it remove my headache immediately when I did it. So I was sold on this. The physical level indications for the kidney bubbling springs point are for loss of consciousness, dizziness, back pain, and infertility. And the emotional and mental is that it can calm the spirit and relieve restlessness, ease fear and anxiety, clear the mind and aid memory, and help insomnia from agitation and fear. And on the spiritual level, a surge of fresh, revitalizing, renewing, and invigorating pure life force flows in. It restores hope and optimism to that which was wilting, drained, or exhausted. Sounds good, right? Let's do it. So we'll gently massage this point with your finger, which you'll see on the demonstration, for 30 seconds or up to 3 minutes. Simple breathing techniques can work wonders for helping your anxiety and stress and help you get grounded. The one I'm about to share is quick and effective, and it's a great way to restore balance to the brain, calm your nervous system, and enhance mental clarity. I love it when neuroscience backs up these techniques. We're packing your toolkit with some awesome tools to help manage your stress and keep your act together. So the next technique is called the alternate nostril breathing technique. The benefits for alternate nostril breathing techniques are for brain lateralization and nervous system balance. It restores the balance to the brain by involving breathing through one nostril while closing the other and then switching. This practice can help balance the activity between the left and right hemispheres of the brain, enhancing your overall brain function. Sound good? It also calms the nervous system. By regulating the breath, this technique activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and reducing stress. This breathing technique increases oxygen supply to the brain, improving cognitive function and mental clarity. It can help clear mental fog and enhance focus and concentration. How to practice alternate nostril breathing? Let's get started. So we're going to find a comfortable position with your spine straight and your shoulders relaxed. I have been practicing this a while and do it a little different than the way you'll see most people demonstrate it. I like to position my index finger on my third eye point, which we pointed out earlier in the video. And then I like to use my right thumb to close my right nostril. And then I like to use my left ring finger to close my left nostril. I do it this way. You've got your index finger on your third eye, your right thumb closing your right nostril, and then we're going to inhale through your left nostril. Now we're going to cover the left nostril that we just inhaled through and open the right nostril and exhale out the right nostril. Then inhale through the right nostril, and then close the right nostril and exhale out the left nostril. Inhaling back through that left nostril, then closing it, and then exhaling back out through that right nostril. Now inhaling back through the right nostril, covering it, and then exhaling out of that left nostril. I can see why people do it the other way. It would be much easier to demonstrate like this than the way I was doing it, but I really like the feeling of touching my third eye point. It calms me, so it's an extra technique for me on this particular one. Pick the one that feels right to you. So we'll do this back and forth like I did. You'll do this practice a good 5 to 10 cycles. And I challenge you to not feel different after doing 5 to 10 cycles of this. It's a wonderful way to be curious about your body. When you find a period of stress, set yourself down and go, okay, I'm going to do this. And then be the experiment. See the change and decide whether you're going to incorporate that as one of your favorites in your toolkit. Be kind to yourself. That's the next technique set. The first is using self-kindness phrases. Our language with ourself matters, always. Most of us have an array of stressors building before we travel, and especially before vacation travel. You can repeat caring phrases to yourself such as, I'm doing my best, I am strong, I can move through this, I've got this. Practicing self-compassion can counteract negative self-talk and reduce anxiety. The way we speak to ourselves in our head is mirrored in our interactions with our loved ones. If you notice grouchy, judgy, or negative thoughts up here, you're more likely to be projecting them onto your loved ones. So if you don't do it for yourself, do it for them. The next technique is quick and easy self-compassion practice. I learned this one from a wonderful teacher I've learned from over the years, Dr. Dan Siegel, the father of interpersonal neurobiology. He came to workshops in Austin. I got to meet him. This is one I often recommend to the people I work with, and they've found it very helpful. With this one, you'll place one hand over your heart and the other over your belly. And then close your eyes. Now switch your hand, the positions of your hand over your heart and belly. Close your eyes and feel how that feels. Now switch back. Does one of them feel a little more intuitive, a little more comfortable, a little more right? For me, the left over my heart and the right on my belly does. So we'll stick with whichever one feels that way for you. I'll take a few intentional breaths. And just feel what this feels like, having your hand on your heart and your hand on your belly. Feel both places. Just inhale in and out your nose. Keep your eyes closed and one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Now take a few intentional and mindful breaths, allowing yourself to feel supported, loved, and worthy of receiving. This technique is supported by research indicating that touch, even self-touch, can activate the body's care system and parasympathetic nervous system, leading to feelings of safety and comfort. Dr. Dan Siegel and his colleagues have explored similar techniques. According to Siegel, placing your hand on your heart can activate areas of your brain associated with feelings of security and connectedness, similar to the effects of receiving a hug. This practice is often linked with the release of oxytocin, a hormone that helps reduce stress and increase feelings of well-being, also called the love hormone. Dr. Kristen Neff has explored the concept of self-compassion through touch and has demonstrated that gentle touch can soothe distressing emotions and lower stress levels by reducing cortisol and triggering oxytocin release. This form of self-soothing can be a powerful tool in managing stress and fostering a sense of self-compassion and care. What I also love about this technique is that sometimes we do it naturally, intuitively, throughout our lives. You'll feel that. You hear news about someone that's sad or heartbreaking, you grab your heart, you comfort yourself. We have a lot of inherent wisdom in our body. And so I love that this honors that. And I love that you can use it anytime. No one knows what you're doing. It is a technique I use often and recommend and have had great results. I hope these grounding techniques help you stay calm and centered during your travels this summer or whenever you're watching this, or while you're attending large group events or conferences. Remember, taking care of your mental and emotional well-being is crucial. If you find this video helpful, please like and stay tuned for more tips and insights, and we can pack your toolkit full of tons of resources you can come back to help take back your health, your mental health, your ability to stay calm and not lose your while you're traveling. Thanks for visiting. Stay inspired and take care of your heart and mind. Moon. Geoffrey says, I will be sad if you don't come back soon. Oh, you gotta look at them. There you go. Till next time.